Okay, so the Canadian immigration is not in a mood to mess around. This was spelled clearly out in the um, announcement today that was held by the Immigration Minister of Canada, Honorable Mark Miller, and Minister of Workforce Development, Minister of Employment, who's Minister Boisonnault. Both of them held this explosive press conference today, made tons of revelations, a little bit off of what we had predicted. In fact, quite a lot off on what we had predicted just about yesterday. But still, the changes are so significant and such high impact that people who are planning to come to Canada could be rethinking their plans, to the grassroots, to the to the entry level itself. Guys, today's video is all about the announcement, the press conference that was held today on September 18th, 2024. Explosive changes, lot of changes to impact study permit applicants, current study permit holders, PGWP applications, open work permits, spousal open work permits. Then you have refugee applications. Everything was under fire, and tons of changes have been declared. So today's video is going to be extremely long. But before that, let's play the introduction, and then I'll see you on the other side. So, guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil, and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I practice here in Ontario. My office is here. If you have to get in touch with me, my number is on the screen, and the details are there in the description box. More than happy to speak with you. Before we proceed any further, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. And if you are an aspirant to moving to Canada, then this is a channel that you must be subscribed to all the time. So, guys, today was a very important, you can call it like a milestone in the history of Canadian immigration, because today the minister has started taking strong measures, in being bold enough to say that they've already technically used temporary foreign workers in order to recover from the post-COVID trauma, and now the Canadian immigration or the Canadian economy is back on track. Now apparently they don't need foreign workers as desperately as they did earlier. So they've sort of reversed the changes, and not only reversal, but they've also gone to the length of making it harder for people to now apply for immigration of Canada. Well, a lot of changes have gone through, so I have them here. Please be tuned in for a really long video. But let me just bring it up on the screen. This is the exact news release that was released while the minister was talking. So this is September 18th. It talks about strengthening the temporary residence programs for a sustainable volume in the future. Now, it is hard for you to go through, but I have some notes here which we can follow. Overall, the minister said that the number of temporary residents in Canada, from 437,000 people in 2019 has gone up to 1.2 million in 2023. And beyond that, we are sitting at close to 2 million people as temporary residents, including visitors, workers, study permit, maybe people without documents and all. All of them put together are a little over 2 million now. Which is quite a large number, considering Canada itself has a population of only 40 million, roughly over 40 million. And the infrastructure is not ready to support so many people at such an alarming increase rate of such a short time. So what they have done is that, um, because the Canadian population is so small, the temporary residents represent around 6.5 to 7% of the total population. They have now been working on plans to reduce that 7% to at least 5 or even lower, than the whole population. So they want to bring the number of temporary residents in the country to a lower level. While they will be releasing the immigration levels plan on November the 1st, 2024, the first time Canada will be including temporary resident numbers as well in that plan. So earlier it was only about permanent residents, refugees, humanitarian families. Now another number will be temporary residents, only to show the commitment by the Liberal government that they are thinking about Canadians. Now, all of this, I believe, that is being done under the the pretext that the elections are nearby, and obviously the government has suddenly woken up. And the minister did address that the immigration plans or the programs have gone on an overheat level, which means they were not supposed to bring in so many people, but his predecessors did, and now they're taking the strict measures in order to fix the broken system. Well, amongst those fixtures, what are exactly happening now? First part of the declaration talks about international students. If I bring it up on the screen here, we are talking about students. So this is the one that I'm talking about. So let's just talk in detail. What they are saying is that students, in terms of the overall quota that was allocated in the year 2024. So earlier on January 22nd, 2024, they said that the total number of study permits that will be issued in the year 2024 will be 485,000. Now, to bring the measures further under control, and the minister said that it's been working well, they have reduced the quota even by further 10% in 2025 and will remain the same in 2026, which means the new quota for 2025 for international students will be 437,000 only. Also, the number will continue to be the same for the year 2026. Another bigger update is provincial attestation letters. Earlier, PALs were required only by students who were opting for college degrees, college diplomas, and certificate programs. But now, even the master's degree holders and doctoral students or doctoral applicants will also be required to produce PALs, which is provincial and territorial attestation letters. Although there is a separate 12% quota dedicated to these guys, because the kind of benefit that Canada is deriving is pretty high. Therefore, PALs are also now required for students of masters. So these are the two bigger announcements for students. If you talk about spouses of open, the students and spouses of foreign workers, so basically we're now talking about spousal open work permits. For spouses of students, later this year, they will be limiting the spouses of, so open work permits for spouses of students who are doing masters and doctoral programs in duration of at least 16 months. Earlier, it was blanket approval for everybody, basically people who are doing masters, doctoral, and bachelors in certain categories. Now they are going to cross all of it and saying only spouses of students who are enrolled to do masters or doctoral over 16 months in duration. This is going to happen later this year. This is directly going to reduce at least 50,000 applications in the coming years. The next is spousal open work permits for spouses of foreign workers. Earlier, high skilled, low skilled, spouses of all of those were allowed, right? Now, later this year, spouses of highly skilled workers only to the occupations of C level, so C-suite management, so basically higher management, engineers, professionals, lawyers, doctors, and people working in critical industry like health and construction. Only these people, these foreign workers, if you have a spouse overseas, that spouse can apply for an open work permit. That's it. Nobody else. Okay. So this is again very big change. This is going to impact at least 100,000 work permits, at least less, 100,000 work permits less than predicted. So big number. So another direct impact is going to happen on PGWP applications. Now, guys, as you already know, Canada people, a lot of people because Canada has a postgraduate work permit to offer. Study for 1 year, you get a 3-year 1 year work permit. Study for 2 or more, you get a work permit up to 3. That was the best part. People loved it. Now Canada is following Europe, following US. Now they are saying no more PGWPs for everybody. There are rules on PGWPs also starting November the 1st. 2024. Anybody who's applying to study in Canada, so if your courses are studying starting November 1st or later, or basically you are submitting an application November 1st or later, length of PGWP will depend on the level of your education. Okay, so this is very important. Graduates of bachelor's, master's degree and doctoral programs will remain eligible for PGWP is up to 3 years. This is what they're saying. But for people who are applying for public college diploma programs or certificate programs, for you guys, your PGWPs will be linked to occupations if your programs are catering to those long-term shortage, occupations. While we are yet to get more details on this, like which programs are eligible for it, which category and all. But broadly, he said that your PGWPs will be linked to the kind of programs that you study. This is for college, public level, public college level programs. And mind you, if you are applying to study, or basically if your application is falling after November 1st or later, right now, if you're doing it, you're fine. um, if you have if you want to apply for PGWP effective immediately, so effective November the 1st 2024, you would be required to produce an English language exam as well. Okay, so basically English or French, so you have to provide language proficiency to meet CLB level 7 if you are in a college doing a degree program or university graduates. If you're doing college graduates, basically diploma certificates and all, you will be required to produce CLB 5. So CLB 5 for diploma certificates, so basically public college. University graduates, CLB 7. Guys, this is extremely important because a lot of students technically, they think that they would be doing it once they graduate and all. But you would be required to do an IELTS test as soon as you graduate, because this is going to be a prerequisite for PGWP. Changes in PGWP are going to affect at least 175,000 PGWP applications, lesser than the previous one. So you can very well estimate that Canada has technically gone for 50,000 in spousal, 100,000 in spouses of foreign workers, and 175 year, and overall 300,000 lesser study permits based on the changes that I just told you. So we are already crossing 625,000 applications less in the next 3 years. Last but not the least are refugees, guys. Refugees are also under consideration. So the government says that we are really looking the in Canada asylum system with a big scanner, because the government has been notified of false claims, false applications, where people are just finding refugee applications as a means to escape deportations. Because right now a lot of students in Canada are facing, not only students, workers, expiring work permits and all, are facing deportations, and instead of getting deported, they are filing for refugee claims because that's an easy way out for them, right? So what they are saying is that they are making a couple of changes to align with their humanitarian responsibilities, which Canada has to follow. They are implementing a partial visa requirement for Mexican nationalities. For the first time ever, they are doing that. They're also improving the claims processing while maintaining fairness and integrity of the system, as announced in 2024. This is in an easy manner to say that they are going to be checking all claims more seriously. They're going to be more fair, more integrity, more strongly. They're going to follow the rules more strictly. They will also review the visa decision making of the highly trained officers that have been, that have the right to detect any fraud, which means visitor visas will be under fire. Okay, so this is a soft way of saying that we will be refusing more visitor visas in the coming years. Only genuine visitors will be allowed to come to Canada, because they know that people come here to file for refugee claims and at the end, don't leave Canada. So this is going to be very important. They've increased the budget to over $159 million of almost in 2025. 743 millions to be spent in the next 5 years. This is what they're spending in order to improve fraud detection, in order to improve the in Canada asylum integrity, system integrity, basically trying to make the program more strict, deploy more officers, more resources in order to make for more fair judgments. Guys, overall, this announcement today for sustainable future is actually in a nutshell. Now these are my personal views. Okay, um, I believe these announcements today that have been made by IRCC, one thing is very clear: in the next 3 years, they are serious about only bringing serious students to Canada who are willing to go for master's degrees and doctoral programs only. Apart from that, they are not interested for the next few years. They're not interested, or probably pushing back on public colleges, public diplomas, right? Diploma programs and certificates, because they think that this is the way to limit the demand and supply. For foreign workers, they have a clear message that they've already filled their economies. They're trying to save jobs for the Canadian permanent residents and citizens who are already inside the country. Okay, because there is election also next year, they are taking strict measures in the upcoming time so as to give a clear message that they are in support of the Canadian citizens as well. So these changes are here to stay for a bit longer. As expected, Canadian immigration has become a bit tougher. um, the message displayed by the Canadian Immigration Minister was very clear that the further changes are coming in high wage LMIs as well. So, last month only they had declared low wage LMIs. In fact, prior to that, they had talked about low wage changes in Quebec as well. Now, further changes will be coming soon in the high wage LMIs, which is going to be very, very interesting. Further, they're going to reduce levels mostly. Well, the minister did not give a clear message, but for permanent resident levels, temporary resident levels, all of that will be out on November the 1st, 2024. So, in a nutshell, the next few months will be very, very exciting with regard to Canadian immigration. And if you are interested, then you should be subscribed to our channel, following the news very closely as we bring it as it happens. Guys, if you have anything to discuss with us, please feel free to schedule an appointment and we would be more than happy to speak with you. Once again, we wish you all the best and we really hope to see you soon in Canada. All the best.